Hi everybody, it's Annette from The Art of Intuition, and today we're going to talk about the outside and the inside, and which one we should be paying attention to right now. So right now, everything is going on in the world. A lot of fear still being cleared, a lot of realities are starting to shift for a lot of people, and people are looking to what they should do next. And we all get to the point where we look, no matter what the situation is, and this is more of a collective situation with what's going on in the world, what is appropriate for us to do now? And if we are looking outside for that, that is the place you want to now pull back from. Because outside information might not be appropriate for you. It might be appropriate for you. You might see something outside and say, yeah, that feels right. That feels like what I should do. Or it might not really feel right and feel like what you should do. You might be watching it for a totally different purpose. You might be drawn to it to maybe trigger fear, so you can get the fear up and out of your body, but you weren't supposed to follow the advice. We are drawn to things all the time that are not really the reason we think we're drawn to them. You don't really watch anything or notice anything for no reason. Everything you notice and see for a reason. It's not random. It's not a coincidence. There are no such things. You notice them for a reason. There's a message for you in it somewhere. It just might not be the message that you think. It's not answering the question you think it's answering. Like if you look out in the world today and you see, if you watch the news, you see a lot of stuff that perpetuates a lot of fear. You can see a lot of fear in what's being said, a lot of arguments, a lot of anger, a lot of just not disagreeing, people disagreeing on everything, people not sure what to do next. And if you watch that and you take that as, okay, well, that's my reality. Well, not necessarily. It's your reality if you want that to be. But if you go inside and see, does it feel appropriate for me? It might not feel appropriate for you. The reason you're drawn to it might be a totally different reason. But check inside to see how you feel about it. Because sometimes we don't feel the same way about it. Our inner guidance might tell us to do something totally different than what's being shown on TV or what's being said by someone else. I always say people speak our fears back to us. If not, they don't say them because there's no point. Whether we solicit the information or not, someone will speak our fears back because we have to clear something or we don't realize we felt a certain way about something. And when someone says it to us, we can look at it and go, yeah, I guess maybe somewhere I did feel that way. Maybe I do have a little fear about this. So look at how you feel about things, how you set. I did a video not too long ago about the state of your union and what is appropriate now. You know, what is appropriate for you to do. So check inside. And if you don't get an answer, close your eyes and try again. And if you still don't get an answer, you're probably not setting long enough. And then I will say something, it seems kind of contradictory to what I just said, but then you can look outside. Know exactly what your question is though before you do. And usually it won't come in a way you think it will. You can ask the question before you go to sleep, because when we're open in our sleep states, just in general we are. You can ask to expand your consciousness right before you go to sleep. What I will usually do is ask to go expand my vibration like 1,000%, or I pick some crazy number, and just you can feel yourself lift up. You'll feel yourself get higher and then sleep on it. Or wake up the next day. You might wake up the next day and see a sign. You might see a license plate that tells you what you're supposed to do. Because sometimes when we're really emotional and afraid and have a lot of emotion going on about anything, we can't see it. The emotions cloud our connection. Because the human is trying to clear something, and when we're trying to clear the emotion, we have so much wrapped up in it, we can't really see what's going on. We can't really see what's appropriate for us. I heard someone say the other day that we don't follow directions well in this country. And I live in the United States, and in this country, like, we don't follow directions. We don't do what we're told. It was sort of a comment where a lot of other countries do what they're told, and we don't here. So in the collective, in that collective, which we're all part of that collective to an extent, if you live in this country or have a connection to the United States, that's not really the astrology the country was born under. It was not born under doing what we were told. Whereas some other countries had different astrology. It's kind of interesting if you're interested in astrology in any way, just kind of look at some of that. Even though I always say it's kind of a human thing to look at, but it can open you up to see why you might feel certain ways about something when countries were born and the astrology they were born under. So we're usually, and in general, you should never do what you're told unless you're told by yourself. And you're told by the deepest parts of yourself and not your human self. So if you're not sure, take a look around, see what jumps out at you, see how it resonates. But look at it from the question you want to really know. Don't just take everything you see as correct. Because it has to be correct for you. And what's correct for you might not be correct for someone else. So take a hard look. Only look outside if you're not getting what you need inside. And also remember that the outside's there for a reason and the inside projects out and creates the outside for you. So it's a reason it's in your reality. And you can kind of figure out why it is. Are you putting it there? Like I personally never watch, very rarely do I watch the news. I'll check in every once in a while to see what's going on in the collective. But I don't expose myself to it unless I feel there's a reason to, if I feel drawn to do it. Because for me, it's just, it serves no purpose for me. But everyone's different. So see how you feel about something yourself. See how you set with something. Don't worry about how someone else sets with something, because it's irrelevant to you. It's completely irrelevant. Now, true, if they're in your world, they're an aspect of you. So they might be showing you a side of you, but it might be a human side of you. It might be an aspect you don't care much for, in a sense. It might be an aspect you're trying to transcend out of your field. Just take a hard look. Don't judge anything you see, and keep practicing the art of intuition.